Let's do this. The Cult of Hockey podcast by the faithful and for the faithful. I'm David Staples of the Edmonton Journal, and I'm here today with Bruce McCurdy. Hey, Bruce, how you doing?
Hey David, how are you doing tonight?
Good, good. Is there a door open? I think there's a lot of background noise I'm hearing.
Oh, there's a little bit
Want to go?
going on there. I've got the door closed.
Oh, okay, all right, fair enough. Life goes on. Life goes on in the busy
Yes.
city of Edmonton. Well, Bruce, Oilers are in danger of being swept. They lost Game 3, 4-2. It was a game they did not. I'm going to say they did not deserve to win. The Avs had 17 grade A shots to 11 for the Oilers. They had a subset of 10 5 alarm shots. The Avs did 5 for the Oilers. So in terms of like the most dangerous shots on, it wasn't close. The Avs were quite a bit better than the Oilers, according to our count at least.
According to our count, yeah, this is very, very odd. We were at odds with Natural Stat Trick, who had the Oilers in the ascendant for grade A shots, and especially at 5-on-5. Of course, they didn't count the 1,000 minutes of power play for Colorado. That is not included in that, but they had 13-3 for Edmonton and high danger chances, and we had what 10-5 for Colorado and 5 alarms.
Yeah.
So
Can't say I'm
and,
particularly upset. Are you, Bruce? Like, I mean, the Avs are just a better team. It's in a lot of important ways. And
yep, they make
although they're,
fewer mistakes than the Oilers do. I'll tell you that.
I think the difference is they're fantastic puck moving defensemen,
Mhm.
McCarr, Bowen, and Taves.
Mhm.
The Oilers don't have anyone as good as any one of those players,
Probably not.
and I don't think. And maybe if Darnell was healthy, he would be, but he's not
Mhm.
healthy, and he isn't. So they just move the puck so fast. You make a little turnover, your cycle's over. They get the puck, they control the puck, they move the puck. It's fantastic hockey, actually. They're a great hockey team, and I just hope that Calgary's not badly hurt because that would put a crimp on their Stanley Cup chances, losing a key player like Nazem Kadri, honestly. So
Mhm.
I got nothing against the guy. He's played honest hockey against the Oilers. He's been fine. So
Well, other than yanking Darnell's helmet off his head in overtime, not one game in the season, but yeah, I mean he's an edge player. Let's put it that way. But he's a hell of a good player as far as I'm concerned. Anyway, they played without him tonight, and they won anyway.
they did. Yeah, and JT Compher, the guy, replaced him on the second line center as the guy scored the winning goal. All right, Bruce, this is our two good things, two bad things, and two numbers podcast.
Mm-hmm.
And because it wasn't a particularly bad loss, it was just another loss to the Avs. We'll just go with one bad thing each, one good thing each. We'll just go with the standard tonight.
Okay.
So what is your good thing to start?
Yeah, my good thing is the start of the game for the Oilers. The first 38 seconds of the game for the Oilers. Let's put it that way. When uh, uh, Zach Hyman wins a board battle at the Colorado blue line and slips the puck through to Connor McDavid, and he whips into the Colorado zone and buries the shot past or through, I guess, Pavel Francouz to give the Oilers the early 1-0 lead. And you couldn't ask for a better start. Usually when the Oilers score first, they win, but that isn't the case of what eventually happened tonight, but it wasn't because they started poorly.
Yeah, two zippy plays on that particular. Hyman's back pass to McDavid was
Mm-hmm.
was really sharp,
Yep.
and then McDavid's quick and sneaky shot was really good too. So
Yep.
yeah, very very nice start to the game, but not to be tonight, Bruce. Not to be.
Not to be
All right,
tonight.
my good thing will be Ryan McLeod, who scored the second goal,
Okay.
and he's really coming into his own in these playoffs. He really is. He looks like a player who's going to stick with the Oilers. He's confident with the puck. He's making plays with the puck and carrying the puck up the ice, defending well. He looks like a good third line center, maybe even a second line center. I mean, he's really getting it done, Bruce. So his goal was a little bit odd. He skated up the ice and took a shot from the upper slot. Um, just I don't know, 10 feet in from the blue line, and somehow it beat Francouz. It was fantastic because the Oilers had
Came out
nothing
of
up.
nowhere.
The Oilers were going nowhere fast,
Mm-hmm.
and suddenly he whips that in, and the Oilers suddenly had some life, and they came close to getting the go-ahead goal. Um, Short time later on the power play with McDavid, he got an incredible chance that Francouz stopped. So he made up for his botched job on the McLeod play by stoning
Uh-huh.
McDavid. And then Bouchard hit the post. Back off an Avs player. He got one of the let go of Bush bomb, hit the post, and the rest is Oilers history.
Eastward.
It is. Okay, Bruce. Let's move on to our bad things because there was quite a bit bad that happened this game. What is your bad thing?
Yeah, well, my bad thing also happened in the first minute of the game. This is the first ever for me that both my good and bad thing of the night happened before the 1 minute mark of the first period. But after the great start and the early McDavid goal, when uh, uh, Evander Kane coming back into his own zone cross-checked Nazem Kadri from behind, sent him crashing into the boards and put him out of the game. Kadri down and out. And, I thought he'd be one of those things where he got up and he was sort of playing in the second minute of the power play, but no dice. He never came back. And Kane went to the penalty box for 5 minutes, and David, he was lucky that was all he got. I thought they would kick him out of the game. Thought it would be 5 in a game for checking from behind. Instead, the official call was boarding major and 5 minutes. So after the Oilers have this hot start, and all of a sudden they're on the back foot trying to kill a 5 minute power play against that group of fantastic offensive players that Colorado has. And credit to them, they did kill it off. I think Colorado had something like 8 shots on net in that power play. And on the night, they had 16 shots on the power play, and none of them went in. And that was in 11 minutes and 27 seconds of power play time, 16 shots. And so credit Mike Smith for his work on the penalty kill, but the fact that Edmonton's quick start really, I think the momentum of it got taken off by
Yeah.
Kane's penalty. And even though you'd say, well, advantage Edmonton because they killed it off and because Colorado lost an important player, maybe they came out of that ahead, and maybe they did, but I didn't see it as good at all, and it's not a good look for the Oilers. That was a cheap hit.
They had 5 grade A shots on that 5 minute power play. 3 of them were 5 alarm shots.
Mm-hmm.
There was there was a one-timer by Landeskog. There was a tip shot in front of the net. There was another one-timer. The worst one was Nurse on his knees, and there was a kind of a low-high pass diagonally going through the crease.
Mm-hmm.
I think McKinnon hammered it off the post, just harpooned it right in there. And then there was a slap pass tipped on net, which was a really dangerous chance too. But Smith got them all.
Mm-hmm.
He did play well early in the game, and then unfortunately he got beat on a deflection. I remember earlier this year we were talking about how many times Darnell Nurse had deflected in goals this year.
Mm-hmm.
It's been significant, and I don't know what to think about it. I just think it's my bet. It's bad luck. I just think it's bad luck. That play was a bad luck play. Well, I think they generally all are.
Often they are. Yeah, that one certainly was.
I don't like they didn't. Kelly Harudi didn't make a lot of it on the TV, national TV there. I thought that was the right call. It's just bad luck. These things happen in hockey, and the Oilers couldn't get that kind of break until McLeod scored. They finally, because early in the second period, the Oilers they had some really good chances. McLeod had a great chance. Fogle had a great chance.
Yeah.
So they came close. Those are 2 really, really good chances. McLeod's breakaway and Fogel's bang bang play in front of the net there, but they couldn't score. So, okay, my bad thing, Bruce, comes after that. Comes immediately. We have at 17:30, 2.5 minutes into the second period. McDavid streaks up the ice, passes it to Nurse, who gets a hell of a shot. just one times it at the net. And it's a really good shot. But after that, Bruce, for there's one more after that. There's Draisaitl's play at 14:31 of the second. So Draisaitl charges up the ice. Dekes Jack, I think it's Johnson, or is it Eric Johnson?
Probably Jack Johnson if he deked him.
Whatever, Johnson, whichever Johnson it was. And deked him and fired a really good shot on net. So 14:31, so that's 6.5 minutes in. After that, Bruce, the next 7. So the Oilers at that point are down 2-1.
Yep.
For the next 7 grade A shots are all from the Avalanche. And it's not until McLeod's shot at 12:29, so that's 7.5 minutes into the third period. So this is a stretch of a full period where the Avs are getting 7 grade A shots and the Oilers are getting 0. And the Oilers are down a goal in an elimination.
Yeah.
Down a goal, and that just speaks to me. When that happened, I never expected the Oilers to win the game. Like after that 20-minute period, even when McLeod scored, I was thinking they're not going to win this game. I didn't think they deserved to. The Avs are just that much better at this point for a lot of reasons. I think I think if Nurse and Draisaitl were both healthy, the Oilers would have a fighting chance. Without those guys healthy, these teams are not close, and that's how we're seeing it play out. Simple as that. So that's my bad thing, was that stretch of lifeless play by the Oilers, where maybe I'm sure they're trying, but Colorado's just better.
McLeod's goal at 7:34 of the third, that was their second shot of the third period. And they did have 13 shots in the second period, but as you say, the dangerous ones came early in the frame, and then after that, it just sort of seemed like the clock was going tick, 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 and there was nothing really that seemed to be that dangerous developing, or when it did, they'd miss the net with the shot, or somebody block it, or something would happen, bounce over the stick.
Yeah. Tick tick, no boom. All right, Bruce. Your number. What's your number?
Yeah. Well. Yeah. I got to go with 4 and 198, and that is the series record of teams down 0-3 in a series. It's happened 202 times in NHL history that a team had a 3-0 deficit in a best-of-7 series, and 4 times out of the 202. We'll round it up to 2% chance of the team in the deficit position coming back to win the series. And of course, this series is hardly the only one where the reason that one team was up 3-0 was that they were better than the other team. And that just makes those odds seem that much more infinitesimal that they would be able to do it. I mean, the Oilers have showed pushback at times during these playoffs, very good pushback, but there hasn't been enough of it in this series. These last 2 games have been quite disheartening. Can't hear you.
Yeah, I'm just saying it hasn't been good, has it? It hasn't been not good. This is just a great Avs team. Like, they really are a fantastic hockey team. And Kellen McCarr is such a great player. Nathan McKinnon has impressed me. I've never seen him play so well. He just gets that puck and attacks. He's putting on a show. And they've got Rantanen and Landeskog and hopefully Kadri. I'm hoping he's back. And Nikushkin, we all made fun when the one Evolving Wild sent Nikushkin to
He's a hell of a good player.
Which was a silly thing to say at the time, but he is a very good hockey player right now. He's getting it done. Like, he can play, that dude. So, my number, Bruce, is 1. This is the number of major contributions to grade A shots that Leon Draisaitl has made in the last 2 games. He made 1. I already referenced it earlier. Rushed the puck up the ice, got a shot on net. He, I honestly don't know how he had so much success against the Flames. Like, it's amazing playing with the injury that he has. That he was like, what was it, 17 points in 5 games? It was such an astonishing total, such an astonishing offensive outburst. And against the Avs, he had an okay game on the attack in the first game.
Yep.
But he cannot get anything going. They're just too quick. They are too quick, and he's too slow because he can't power past them. He can't use his power. The Oilers, to beat the Avs, we're going to have to play a power game. And two of their power players, like the two guys who can play power games, are Darnell Nurse and Leon Draisaitl. They can use their size to beat people and intimidate. And they can't play that power game because they have no leverage with their bodies right now. They can't hold off people. And to me, it's most evident on the power play for the Oilers, where I mean, Leon is the best power player, I think, in the NHL. Maybe McDavid's better than him, but Leon is such a great passer of the puck. Has half his third court game, or one third court game. It's just out of this world good. His passing, his backhand passing, his shooting, everything about it is fantastic. His control of the puck on the boards, his ability to win pucks on the boards. He can't win pucks. He loses pucks on the boards. He's losing the puck constantly. If you went through that game, unfortunately encountered it many times, the play died on Leon Draisaitl's stick, I think it will be kind of a sad and sobering total. And it's not, obviously, I'm not criticizing Leon Draisaitl. And when I criticize Darnell Nurse, I'm not criticizing him either. These two guys are obviously playing injured. They can't get it done, and they're not getting it done. And that's why we see this collapse of Draisaitl's game against a very, very quick team, which the Flames weren't. I think that's one of the differences. These defensemen, just Taves and McCarr, they will not allow him to keep the puck. They keep knocking it off his. Same with McDavid, quite a bit.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, they had we had Draisaitl involved in one chance for, and none against. I mean, he was complicit on the empty netter, but it wasn't a grade A shot. Right? It was a shot from outside.
It's a nothing play.
That's a desperation play at that point. But and he did draw 2 penalties, and I thought he gave what he had, but it was clear he was hurt, and he went down the tunnel one time after a play that looked suspiciously like a slew foot at first. It wasn't, but it was a. Yeah. He got overpowered kind of from behind by McKinnon, who was a strong so-and-so. And Leon went down hard that time, and he hung in there, but it's sad, you've got these excellent to great players that just aren't able to show their real stuff because they're so banged up at this point. Nurse, obviously he made a horrible bad play on the one where he tried to cut out the pass and it tipped off his stick and somehow found a hole in a flailing Mike Smith, but it wasn't really Smith's fault. It was just he was pulling off the post and he couldn't recover. And it was an ugly, ugly goal. And, I thought Nurse had a pretty okay game. Like, not great, but he was way better than the last 2 games. Way better than the last 2 games. He had 8 hits in this game. He was, he was super involved in the game, had a couple of real good shots. But he's on a real, we'll call it what it is, a shit streak right now, where whatever is going to go wrong is happening to Darnell Nurse this last little while. And it kind of hurts to watch.
I'd give him a 6, maybe. Like, I think he was like 6 out of 10, maybe.
Well, I'm going to dock him for that goal because that's what I do.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to give him a 2 like he got the last 2 games. Let's put it that way.
Oh, yeah. God.
And I guess he was getting flayed alive on Twitter again. But
well, that was just a tough play. Come on. Take it easy on the guy. If you've ever played defense in any organized hockey game, this happens to you. This happens. Lots. I can attest to this, Bruce. All right. What did you think of the winning goal, Bruce? The one Smith lit in.
I kind of hated it, David.
Yeah, me too.
You got to have a stop there.
You do.
I mean, Bouchard hits the post at the other end, and the puck comes out, and the guy comes out of the penalty box, Comfer, and so he's got lots of gas in the tank, and I'm not quite sure how long Bouchard had been out there because,
Not
uh,
long.
yeah, in full disclosure, I did not see the power play because my house and possibly more in St. Albert experienced a power failure just as they were dropping the puck on the Edmonton power play. And power came back on about a minute and a half later, but of course, all the new systems, everything's got to reboot. The router's got to
Oh,
come back up. You're just waiting. I
what
was
a
listening to it
nightmare.
on the radio. It sounded like McDavid had a great chance
Yeah.
um, that Francouz made a glove save on. Sounded like Bouchard hit the post, and then they come down, and Bouchard kind of takes a bad angle to the puck,
He
and he
did.
gets beat. And there's no
And
second
hooked.
defenseman on the ice because they still have power play out there. And
Yeah.
then, but Comfort, like he shoots from the top of the face-off circle, and in the circle, it's not like not in the middle of the ice, and it goes right through Smith. Like that's not good enough.
That's
And
a
we finally got a break where the other goalie let in a soft one, and our goalie responds by letting in a
uh,
soft one, and that's right
that
back to
was
one goal down.
that's a it's a scoring chance shot, Bruce, but it's a
Yeah,
grade B
I
scoring
know.
chance shot. It's
Yeah,
grade B. He's got
yeah,
to stop that.
yeah.
He just has got to stop that shot,
Yeah.
and he didn't. So
Yeah, well, Smith, he had an interesting game. Mark Spector was questioning him in the post game and said it was his best home game of the playoffs, or if not his best game of the playoffs. And
no.
I didn't see it that way. I mean, he did have face a lot of shots. He did make a lot of good saves, but I think I said flailing around earlier. And honestly, on some of the saves that he made or didn't make, it was sort of a combination between Gumby and Mr. Potato Head. Like his glove was where where his arm should be, and his pad was where his. It was just all over the place, and it worked for more saves than not. But the ones that got through him were, well, they would be comical in a less serious situation than the Oilers are right now. But I'm honestly, I'm at sixes and sevens as to how to grade him, and I'm not saying I'm picking between a 6 and a 7 because that winning goal just,
Oh, I hear
man,
you,
you've got to
Bruce.
have a save on that. And he made it like about 2 minutes later. He made a fantastic save off of Nichushkin on a 2-on-1 with his blocker to keep Oilers in the game. But you need to keep them in the game when they finally tie it up.
Yeah.
You know,
So he should have the expected goals was about 5, and he let in 4. So
well, three better.
well, I would say expected goals, 17 grade A shots, 10 of them are 5 alarms. That's about 5 goals, I think, if I'm not mistaken, that you're expecting. So he only let in 4. So he wasn't like he
He
was
let in
terrible, but
three.
excuse me, 3. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, you're right. Sorry. The one with the empty netter. So that's actually not that bad. And I can see why Speck was enthused with his play. But come on. It doesn't matter. What matters is what you do when the game's on the line in the third period. I mean, it all matters. But what really matters and what the great goalie will do when you have a great game, when you're going to get an 8 out of 10 or a 9 out of 10, you
Hmm.
stop that shot every time. You cannot let that shot in. So that was a little frustrating. But again, honestly, Bruce, I was not expecting the Oilers to win this game. They just didn't. They don't have it. They're not good enough to beat the Avs. Is my
Uh-huh.
what I've watched 180 minutes now, and that's my conclusion. So I hate to say it. I wish the Oilers were better,
Uh-huh.
but they're not. They're not. And I don't like. It's going to be interesting. Can they improve enough in the coming year to take on this team? Maybe they can. They're going to need maybe Broberry and Holloway are going to add some speed, and um, we'll see what happens. It's going to be an interesting off season. I mean, I'm not, you're saying there's a chance with this 90,
150.
1 in 50.
Yeah.
But I'm going to say it's less of a chance than Jim Carrey had on Lauren Holly and Dumb and Dumber. Jim Carrey his odds were better. Um,
So you're
this is
saying
not
there's a chance.
this is not looking good. So,
No, it's not.
it has been a long hockey season, Bruce.
Hmm.
We've been they've been going at it a long, long time. So, and the Oilers they've had a really good season. They've had a great season. They're in the Final Four. They're one of the 4 remaining teams in the NHL. That's pretty darn good. I'm kind of overall gruntled about this particular season and even this series as it's played out. I just see like there's nothing. There's nothing.
Win
There's
one game. Holy moly!
Well, it would have been nice. I agree. Maybe they'll win the next one. Who knows? We'll see. Bruce, you got to do the game grade, so why don't we?
I do.
Why don't we leave it there? Thanks for talking tonight.
All right. Thanks for listening, everyone.
And in the meantime, and in between times, this has been another edition of the Cult of Hockey podcast.